Hey there, Virgos. Welcome to the flow. I am Asmari. This is a Soulversation intended for the collective of Virgo. So that means if you have Virgo as your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, or a stellium, or if you have Virgo as your north node placement, this reading may apply to you. If it doesn't, please do not try and make it fit. You can feel free to check out the rest of the Soulversations that I have posted up on the channel. Alrighty, Virgo gang. So when I was getting ready to do your reading, as I was meditating on your energy, I just got the word empty. So it's like you're emptying out something, or you may feel empty. One of those two words may apply. One of those applications may apply to your situation. Of course, you know best what's happening in your own life situation, and so take it how it resonates. Alrighty, Virgo gang, let's see what is going on and what your soul would like you to know at this moment in time. Please note that all of my Soulversations are timeless, so whether you catch this today, tomorrow, in 20 years, or in the next 5 hours, it will always come to you whenever you need it the most. Alrighty, Virgo. So some of you might be in a place like where there's like a lot of echo, because I'm just hearing the words echo, echo, echo. You know the way you could go to like a canyon and then you shout those words from the canyon, and the canyon like echoes back those words back to you. So you might be feeling you may be in a space where there's an echo, or maybe that word, the way I said empty in the beginning, may apply in the sense that you may be feeling empty in some way, and when you echo something, it's like it's a huge empty space. So take that how it resonates. Let's start off your reading. We have the background energy, which is the King of Wands and the Devil card. Alrighty, so Virgo, I feel like for a lot of you, this may apply as you. So this might be you I'm talking about, or it might be somebody who is in your energetic space at this moment in time. They may be a fire sign, or you may have fire in your chart, that is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So basically with this whole thing like empty and echo, I feel like there are two situations. There are some of you Virgos who may be watching who have been going through like a dark night of the soul, who have been trying to deal with things like addictions. And addictions could be to anything. It's not only to drugs. You could be addicted to food. You could be addicted to anything, literally. So basically, I feel like there are a lot of you who may be going through dealing with addictions of some way, shape, or form. And with the muezzin coming on and calling to prayer, I feel like a lot of you, and I feel like that's why you've been called to this reading, are being called to a more spiritual path, where you're being led to discover more about your soul, to discover more about what God truly is and what God truly means to you. For a lot of you, you might be seeking the help of professionals, in the sense that you may be seeking the help of anyone who is religious, in order for you to get out of this whole situation, right? Let me pause it for a bit because the call to prayer is a bit loud. I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty, so as I was saying, a lot of you may be, finding ways to get yourself out of this place, this dark place, because I spoke about demonic possession at some point, some time back in one of my readings, and I feel like a lot of people have it misconstrued. For me, what I view as demonic possession is not necessarily, entities entering you, although it could be. But for me, I see demonic possession as something that you've not been able to work through in your life. Like that could be a wound, anything that's painful to you that you've not been able to work through, that has consumed you. And because it's consumed you, then the negative traits within you that you have repressed end up overcoming you and taking you over. For others of you, you could be dealing with a narcissist, or you may be learning that you may have narcissistic tendencies, or you're just learning about narcissism in this time period of time. And that's not to knock anybody down, because everybody has the choice to always become the better and best version of themselves, Virgo. So for those of you who resonate that you may be dealing with a narcissistic energy, or if you're feeling empty, I feel like you're feeling empty because you are injured, as I said before. All of this pain, all of this, I feel like you're running to your addictions, or you may be learning that you are addicted to whatever you're addicted to because of the pain that you're going through, or the pain that you've refused to acknowledge, right? And a lot of this pain, yes, it's come from outside sources, but a lot of this pain has remained mainly because of yourself, because either you've pushed people away, or other people have ended up leaving you out in the cold because of how you treat them as a person. So I feel like this energy is your soul calling you to look at the ways and the shapes and the forms and the people and the places that have caused you pain and heartbreak, to be able to examine and look at the places where you have allowed people to deplete your finances, or maybe you've allowed yourself to deplete your own finances, because of this heartbreak, right? That's what I feel like with this as well. For the signs that you may be dealing with, we have Capricorn, we have Cancer, we have Sagittarius, we have Scorpio, we have Leo, we have Aries, and we have Pisces energy over here. So getting into the rest of your cards. So I feel like a lot of you Virgos, if this is not a personal situation, like between you and yourself, but like, when is it never, right? I feel like it's also a situation between you and a female energy who may also be a fire sign, who's quite defensive, right? And basically, I feel like they're being defensive because they have noticed these tendencies within you. And, sometimes we have the tendency to not see the things that are inside of us until someone points it out. I was talking to an acquaintance of mine over Zoom earlier today, and we were talking about how, the way you could put like a biro behind your ear, and then you totally forget that the biro was behind your ear. So basically what happens with that is that somebody would be able to point it out. That used to happen to me all the time. Like, I'd be like, where are my glasses, and they were like right on top of my head. So that type of a thing where you may not even realize the darkness that you carry within you, and because it's been a part of you for such a long time, right? For a lot of you, you've been so used to the darkness that you don't know any other thing except from that, and I think it's a good sign, because if you're being drawn to any of these readings, then that means that you're trying to make progress, right? And I feel like that part of you that's trying to make progress is the female aspect of you, right? That feminine aspect that is within all of us. Remember, I keep telling you, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energies within us all. But basically, what I'm trying to say with this Queen of Wands and Seven of Wands is that the feminine aspect of you within you, your soul, is always fighting for your highest good. So you could be like a murderer, you could be, the worst person in the world, but like, My philosophy and what is the absolute truth is that God, source, spirit, universe is love, right? And so if God is love, God, knowing that it's them, they created the universe, can never be beaten by anything, not even demons or evil, like any type of evil thing. Think about the most evilest thing in your mind, right? There's nothing that God can't, overcome, right? There's nothing that God cannot take charge of. And so, because God is in control at all times, even when we think that, the demons that we face or the hell that we're facing is ever present, there's always God working in the background. God is always working for our highest good. And that's what I feel this energy is. It's the divine feminine within you fighting for a chance for you to be able to take the time to stop, look and listen, baby. That's my philosophy. Da, 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 da. I think that's an Elvis song. Some of you might like Elvis. I don't know why that came out. That's so random. Stop, look and listen, baby. That's my philosophy. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but I'll find the song and link it down in the description box below. But excuse me, somebody's trying to block me from speaking. Ooh, interesting. But here we are with the divine, your spirit guides, your guardian angels who love you regardless of all of your craziness. Basically trying to show you that you should spend time observing the things that you have sowed into, because we always reap what we sow, correct? And so if you feel like you're in a position where you are just unable to escape your pain, if you feel like you're in a position where you are just fighting a losing battle in your mind, right? Think about the ways, shapes, and forms in which you have sowed into that particular situation, right? What are the things that you have invested in? What have you invested your time in? Which people have you been spending your time with? Have you been dealing with people who are just people pleasers and who laugh at all of your jokes even when they're not funny? Are you the person who has invested your time in people who will always tell you that you are the most amazing person even when they can see that you are hurting yourself? Are you investing your time in people who don't want anything but the worst for you, who are just flattering you because they want what you have, right? So basically, what I'm trying to say with these two cards coming out is, look at the ways in which you have deceived yourself. Look at the illusions that you have chosen to believe in, right? It's interesting. A lot of old school songs are coming out. I'm hearing that song. I don't remember who sang it, but it goes like, ooh, 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 ah, illusion. Ooh, 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 ah. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't remember who sang that song. It's just an illusion. So yeah, I feel like you are just caught in some sort of illusion, but the reason why you have been led to this reading, or what I feel like your soul is trying to point you towards, is that there's always an opportunity to change. Things in the universe are never ever stagnant. That is a fact that nobody can ever change. So basically what I was trying to say is that change is the only constant in the universe, and I feel like you are starting to see that you need to let go of your burdens, release your burdens, and understand and be able to discern who exactly has been taking you for granted, and also take note of the ways, shapes, and forms in which you have taken yourself for granted, right? Alrighty, so what is that pointing us to? being able to have the strength and the courage to look at our ego and address our shadow self. I've done quite a lot of videos on the anima and animus archetype within us all. We all have that dark energy within us, and the only way for us to be able to have a handle on our dark energy is for us to sit with it and for us to explore our pain and for us to be able to have the courage to address what it is that we were maybe taught when we were younger is best for us to not pay attention to, or is best for us to sweep under the rug, proverbially, right? I feel like you are just needing to have a different perspective on everything, because it seems like and it feels like that you may be pretty confused right now, or you might be confused by somebody, right? Because you're used to dealing with people in certain ways, but like everyone is changing and it's just basically up to you to catch up, right? I saw this joke on social media. It was a meme actually, and it was like even COVID is evolving, so why shouldn't you? I thought that was hilarious because change is the only constant in the universe. I feel like a lot of you are just in this space where you are fighting this constant battle because you refuse to acknowledge the truth within yourself. You are in a space where you are in complete denial. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this because we are not here on the flow to sugarcoat anything. We are here to help each other become the best versions of ourselves. And so because I, sending and emanating so much love and light, would like you to become the best version of yourself, I would not want to lie to you about what it is that you would need to improve, and look at. So here we are with the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. This is talking to me about conflict, just conflict left, right, and center, lies, manipulation, all of that stuff. And I feel like with this Emperor energy and the Page of Cups is basically your inner child screaming for your attention, and I feel like that's where the addictions are coming in, because I feel like, and this is me talking as somebody who has had to grapple and struggle with getting addictions in control. I used to smoke cigarettes out of control just because I didn't want to spend time thinking about the things that troubled me. I almost used to like OD nearly every single night that I would be next to alcohol, right? Because I just wanted to flush out the thoughts in my head that I did not want to come to terms with, right? But then this is your inner child just telling you that all of these things can go away if you just take the time to sit down with your inner child and acknowledge the pain that was caused to you by your father, right? It's either by your father or by certain things that happened to you when you were a child. Maybe you went through certain trauma. For everybody, it's a completely different thing. But this is your soul calling you to attention, and it's like it's about time that you faced this, because we have the moon in Scorpio coming out soon, and let me tell you, my friend, that is not going to be very fun, because with the full moon coming out in Scorpio, that's talking about everything that was hidden down deep. It's going to come out. It's going to be painful to deal with. So the earlier that you look at it, the better, right? It's time for you to take control of your life and be able to examine and honor the inner child within you, right? I feel like for a lot of you, you may have had, a type of childhood where you didn't get the time to be a child, where you had to grow up really fast. And, maybe for a lot of you, this whole like addiction energy as well is something that's like something that you had to that you used to compensate, that helped you feel like, you were going back to your youth, the things that you may have missed out on, but really what all of this is leading you back to is that your inner child just wants to be nurtured, and not by anybody else, other than yourself, right? Not by anybody else other than yourself. So, Virgo, thank you so much for checking out this Soulversation. If you are interested in booking a personal for you, because I feel like this is it's deep. It's a lot of shadow work, but I trust in you and I know that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. That's if you want to, absolutely, because we live in a free will universe, right? So whatever you choose is totally up to you. But Virgo, I'm going to leave the reading right there. If you want to check out the rest of our love offerings, you can do so in the description box down below. Until next time, Virgo. Namaste.